there's little to nothing that they'll be able to do as regards their security situation. Once you're insecure, I mean, your heart is just up there all the time. If you know you've stayed in a house where robbers have attacked once, you know that you can never sleep the same way in that house
at all.
You know, I had an experience one time when I was growing, and it was terrible because at the slightest noise you're jerking, at the slightest noise you're uncomfortable, and all of that. And you know, that's where PTSD comes from. You know, you have a long history of PTSD because you're still suffering from the effect of whatever happened at that time. That's the same thing that insecurity does. It takes a toll on the minds of people, and so they're just prepared for the worst every single time, even though they're afraid, but they just prepare for the worst. Now, speaking about that, Ogun Monarch tasked security agencies on safety of Nigerians, but he also did say that Nigerians have a responsibility to play. Hold on, I know a lot of us might be like, what responsibility? Is not a job. But he is the Aguiwoye in Ijebu North local government area of Ogun State, Obabdurazak Adenuga, and he called for Nigerian support with the nation's security agencies in a bid to tackle the security challenges facing the country. Now, he said effective collaboration between Nigerians and various security agencies will go a long way in the fight against the menace of insecurity in Nigeria, because truly we cannot fold our arms and say that there are agencies that are responsible for this, you know, so they have to be the ones to do this. Remember at that time when, you know, the police and all of these agencies we have scattered around were not even a popular thing, especially in local communities. You know, they take such care of their community. See, no crime can go unannounced in a local community. There's always someone that is going to be able to trace someone back home, you know, so they know themselves, they look out for themselves and all of that. Now, we're gradually losing that, you know, where we are now tasking all the responsibilities again to the federal security. They have to do what they have to do. I know that the talks about state policing are still underway, you know, some support, some against, but whatever it is, looking like it's going to be, is going to stand, is going to be, you know, most likely adopted, right? But again, it is the responsibility of not just the security operatives, but Nigerians as well. Now, we've had the likes of Olumide call here severally, talking about how, you know, the traditional rulers had a part to play, a part to play in nation building. Exactly. And they're now gradually being ignored. They are gradually being ignored in the process. Phased out in the process.
Totally.
And some people have alleged that might be the reason why in local communities where we will never have heard of things like this, we're now hearing people being killed. Do you know what it is to kill a monarch? At that time, it was a grievous offense, as offensive as killing a military man.
Exactly.
You know, they wielded that level of influence before now. So do you think maybe that might be a problem? That is something that the government should also look into alongside the state policing. You know, these local rulers and the monarchs and all of that, having their roles resuscitated and playing eventually.
You know, when you talk about these things, it just makes me laugh just a little bit, because not once, not twice, we've seen masquerades. These are supposed to be sacred, you know, creatures. You know, creatures at all. Yeah, if they're creatures at all. Yeah, masquerades go to welcome a governor, go to welcome a president, maybe from another country, and all about wearing a canvas. And when masquerades begin to wear canvas and they go to welcome a senator and all of that, it just makes you laugh and say, hey, what happened to, you know, the very bedrock of a society that we once knew that was culturally inclined, traditionally sound, and where people would not just misbehave.
We're from somewhere, we have a root.
But just know that I'm from somewhere. If you still recall, Master, right? Even in normal day, in today's day, you still hear people say, our culture, if you marry someone, you cannot go outside.
But guess what? We choose the part of that culture that we want to follow.
Yes.
And we just abandon
the other part. That's right. So the one that suits us, we choose it, and then we abandon the other parts. Well, as much as they say that Winchi cannot be claimed in court, you cannot take it to court and say it's Winchi that caused it. But we also know that we have our traditional systems, African traditional you know, systems and all of that. I think it's called the ATR or something. Yeah, and all of that. Yeah. And these systems are strong. They are as powerful as the government that we have, you know, at hand. This is not to undermine the fact that governance and government, you know, should not fall into place, but this is also the fact that, hey, in assisting the government, we should also raise some of these institutions so that the idea of combating crimes, you know,
it's not just centralized
on the government, decentralized, and of course corroborative, and as well as collaborative.
And that is what the monarch had to say about that. And if you ask me, I think I will adopt that school of thought.
Exactly.
And I don't know what you guys would think about it, but that's why it's the General European Banters. We'll definitely talk about it.
Sure.
Now we see that Benue State is set to pull down over 800 houses and shanties on waterways and drainages.
Exactly. That is...
See, the thing is, we don't listen.
Yeah.
We as a people, Nigerians, we can be strong-headed sometimes,
right?
Because they are agencies, you know, they are responsible for checking things like this. So I want to buy a shop. I will not just throw my money there and buy this shop. What I will do is go to the necessary agencies and check that that is within the confines of the law and can be occupied by individuals. Do you get that? But we don't ask the questions. Now, when these things are being pulled down, we start to tear on the government. You know, wicked, you're destroying us, you're breaking those things down. So on your path as a citizen, you should, before you acquire, and which is one thing I commend the FCT minister for doing right now. Before you acquire a property, you need to go and verify. You see, for the FCTs, FCDA, I don't know what it is for other states, but I'm sure that they have agencies and they have parastatals that are responsible for checking these things. Now, that's the part of the citizen. Now, the part of the government. Why do we allow these things to become full-blown structures before we start to tear them down, when they can be corrected from the onset? If you go through Abuja, you see many buildings having those red pens demolished.
That's right, demolished,
should not be
with
here.
A date and everything.
They are uncompleted buildings, you know, which I commend. It's uncompleted, so you can demolish it now before it gets to lintel level.
You said something.
Or, you know,
you can demolish it now, but do we see that demolition happening then? Look, what we see is
when it's been fully structured and then there's a pulling down there.
Martha, it's not just about that. That's part of it. But look, what I've seen personally is the fact that when it starts from the foundation, where you can even draw the red X on it and all of that, you see it fine, and then you commend whatever agency is doing their job and all of that, and then before you know it, it's as if there's some muna has gone under the, yes, and then you see it grow again to lintel level, and then you come for another demolition. And then you see again, to give it some time, you see another muna has gone down the drain, and then it gets to the roofing. And then maybe 3 years later, an unsuspecting occupant now gets that what do they call it? That property.
That
property.
Who knew nothing about it.
Knew nothing about it. And then it's the one to face the music, because the person who owns the property already knows that this property is situated.
It's not supposed to be here.
Supposed to be here.
And this is why also, you know, you need to. I think the master plan of a city needs to be made public to everybody.
Well, that's another thing.
Especially developers and people who are looking to acquire properties, structural properties as well. You know, you go and find out these things. It's easy, it's accessible. If it's online, everywhere where people can, you know, have access to. I don't think anyone will fall victim of that. But you know, the effect of building houses on waterways and drainages.
That's it.
Flooding. You are prone. Just, I think it's just this week I was seeing what happened at the Kenyan Dam, where about over 800 people died, you know, at that dam.
Kenya, right?
Yes. Did you see that?
I saw the story this morning. Was it this morning? I saw it.
It was early this week that happened.
Okay, I saw that this morning.
You see that's terrible. It says 42 people. He said 42 people were killed when the dam bursted open in a town north of Kenyan capital Nairobi, and the local government told AFP this on Monday. So the East African country is battling heavy rains and floods at the moment, and some of these things are the things that encourage floods, because if you block block up drainages and waterways, there'll be, little to no passage for waters.
And water is a very strong force.
You get that.
You can't hold it back. Yeah, you can't hold it back. And just to buttress on the points that we made earlier about people knowing, that this place is designated for a certain purpose, and they still go ahead to build structures that is not purposeful to the purpose of what that place is meant for, right? To break it down, we have also said that, look, the unsuspecting, citizens will now acquire this property and all of that. And when the property finally gets the attention of maybe the FCDA and all of that, or the government for demolition, and it's being demolished, the occupant, is confused one, and then starts demanding for
justice,
compensation and all of that. In such a case, is it still right to do compensation? Well, I don't know about you, but I can tell you a true story too. There's a place where we built our home, in Kubwa, right? And there's a land designated. Look, the thing is, when you look at the master plan, like you said, Martha, it should be made public so everybody knows. Because the master plan for every vicinity, every community or society or space by the federal government is a one-for-all beautiful design, trust me. Now, this locality or this place, in Kubwa has a space, land that the government had already orchestrated for, they call it recreational purposes. Beautiful. Do you know that people were coming to buy these lands, right? Because the Omoiles and the and the traditional people from the area had said, this is our land, we are selling it to you and all of that. And they don't do this on their own. They do it in cohorts with one or two officials within the system, right? Now, I remember my elder brother confronting one of such persons who was trying to get a land, thinking it was doing the man good. He said, "Oga, come, let me see you." Took him to a corner and said, "See,
don't buy this
land that don't buy it, because you see this land you're trying to buy, it's a government land. They will come and demolish it anytime, any day." The other one, they called two of them. He said, this one you're buying now, based on the plan, you're on the roadways. Yeah? When demolition comes, there'll be no mercy. Look at the master plan here. First of all, he asked, do you have the master plan? He said, no. Yes, you won't have it because you're not on a solid foundation, right? So look at the master plan, look at what it entails and all of that. You are on the road and you are going to be buying into a government facility. Please don't buy. Do you know what they both said? We know.
Oh, we know.
We know. But we're just building for a short time.
Anyways, guys, I think, this is where we would open up the phone lines. Let's know what your thoughts are. First, about the security, and secondly, about the demolition of properties after they're being structured, and the refusal of Nigerians to adhere to the development board. Now Benue State Urban Development Board is set to demolish over 800 of these houses.
800?
Yes, built on waterways and drainages in the capital. Now, the general manager of the board, Mr. Mede Tenogo, he made this known yesterday after shortly leading his team to pull down illegal structures in Benue State and shanties in the state capital. He said the move was part of the efforts by the present administration to check flooding and also restore the master plan of the state capital. So this is your cue. If you have not had access to master plans of the area where you're living now, I have said it many times, go and get the master plan. Go and inquire. The FCDA is there. Whatever state you are, they also have their general board that can look into things like this. So go out there and look for. Let's open up the phone lines. 09073530044 or 09087668888. You can also leave us a message on WhatsApp letting us know what your thoughts are about the integration of traditional rulers to the security, to mapping out security for the state and the local government and the federal government even on 09097054450. Let us hear you and what your thoughts are on this.
That's right. And we are the ones that really compound, some of these issues. I think it's high time we began to speak about, the matter of our attitude, towards the truth. Where people will call you aside and say, please, you see, this thing that you're trying to buy, this land that you're trying to acquire, this property you're trying to build on is not the right property, or you're making a mistake, and then you start seeing the person as the enemy. Well, we're seeing your calls now. We'll just take your calls and hear from you.
All right. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Martha.
Yeah, welcome and thanks for joining us on the show. Please tell us
your name. Yuri, how are you?
Yuri Daniels.
Good morning.
I'm calling you from Guagualada.
Abubakar, thank you so much for joining us.
I enjoy listening to your discourse. Very interesting conversation.
Right.
Thank you.
In other priorities, apart from food, the most important basic necessity of life is shelter. In some instances, even shelter comes before food. Because even if you acquire foodstuff needed in your household, if your wells were thrown onto the street, you will be destabilized. You don't have even the mind to eat, not even cook it. So shelter is most important. And you all know, guys, we have a huge housing deficit in this country. The majority of Nigeria live in the dilapidated structures.
Yeah.
Most of Nigerians just lay their heads wherever space they find. So it is better for government should show compassion in dealing with people.
Okay.
This organization that will be applying Banter. They shanty nation them, they exist throughout the world. Even in the so-called United States of America, in Russia, in India, they spare shanty. Because that is where people live. If you dislocate people, you displace them, you destabilize them. Some people come very desperate, they become criminal. If they are other people, other.
Hello, Abubakar, are you there?
I think we lost him there.
They stop saying we lost him. We didn't lose him.
We didn't lose him.
We didn't lose him, brother. We lost his score.
Martha, thank you for that. We lost his score.
Thank you, Abubakar. Please do call us back so that we can hear from you.
Exactly.
09073530044 or 09087668888. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Martha.
Hi, Salasi. Good morning.
Hello, Salasi.
Hey, Daniel.
That's right.
You Martha, you have no problem. You have Ubon there. So he will take good care of you over there.
This one I have to beg.
I'm doing my best, Salasi. I'm glad you're seeing that from by proxy.
Yes,
well done.
I'm honored to speak to Ubon this morning. Martha, I greet you.
Thank you.
I want to start. Let me continue from where Abubakar stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
People, the houses that they are to demolish, where were they when these people were building these houses?
Exactly.
Where were the government agencies when these people were building all these houses? We must understand that these people get this floor, they get it at the cheaper rate. They don't have the capacity to buy it at where they can buy at the exorbitant price. That's why you see some people on rocks building houses. Go to Zensuleda and others. Go to Madela, you see people building houses on top of them. Because these are the cheaper places they can be able to afford, and they have no choice than to go to all this. So government must protect, most especially government officials to do their work. Then I want to talk about the security. Martha and Ubo Daniel.
Yes, please.
There was a man that he worked with one of the federal government civil parastatals. He retired last year December, and whenever he's coming for his retirement benefit, he comes to my house. I'm now talking in the morning to his office. I'm telling you, the week I spoke with this man about his preparation of his retirement, of his benefit, that week, bandit came to his house and killed him.
I think, he did mention that.
He haven't even taken a penny for his retirement benefit. Bandit came and I was communicating with this guy. He even sent the mail. The mail even came after his death. So this is the thing. When we talk about insecurity, some people feel as if we are against government. No. I have no one against government. I have no family member. Not one. I have paid ransom. Not one. Look at what happened when Daniel reached in the morning. In Burnawali, on Thursday morning around 8 a.m. People were kidnapped, people were killed. And look at what happened in Maiduguri. They repented bandits. See, government should abolish that We don't want to hear any repentant bandit, any repentant people bringing it back to the society. These are the people that is based on ideology. They believe that if they die in that cause, they are going to get married to 70 virgins. So why would government be bringing these people to society? Then forget the victims. The government do nothing about the victims, but they will spend our hard and prayer money in the aspect of rehabilitation. I think Americans should have rehabilitated Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden was an imam in Saudi Arabia. It's not that he doesn't know Quran, but he decided to attack Americans. So no one should ask them terrorists to the society. They should go and repent to God up there. So government must do the needful in the aspect of insecurity. Thank you for giving me a privilege.
All right. Thank you so much, Selassie, for that contribution. And you see, the issue of this repentant Boko Haram and what have you, it's been on the news many times. We've seen about 16,000 of them. I think it was early this year being, because they swore never to kill anybody and all of that. And I saw that they attacked like a police station. I always will say it. The people who initiated the arrest will become the number one victims of these people when they get the slightest opportunity. So you see, it's hello. Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, welcome and thanks for joining us on the show.
This is MC Swagger calling from Asokoro.
MC Swagger, it's good to have you join us. Talk to us.
Please, my own is about the World Press Day. I want to celebrate all the journalists, the Nigeria Union of Journalists, all work well done for giving us information about Nigeria and beyond.
Thank you very much.
To see how journalism can be stand out anywhere in the world.
Thank you so much.
Everywhere you are, may God bless, continue to bless, to give you the strength to do your work proper.
All right, thank you so
much. I also want
much.
to tell you a message on how to celebrate journalism. If you are able to read that message, I'll be very happy.
All right,
it's about celebration of journalists during the World Press Day. Every World Press Day, journalists must be celebrated for their work well done. I will send the message along. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. He just literally saved the rest of the list because I was waiting for somebody to not remember.
Right.
And Selassie would always be the first one to say, Martha, happy World Press Day. But anyways, it's all good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, MC Swagger, for that. Let's keep it coming through on 09073530044 or 09087668888. Thank you. Somebody sent that on the WhatsApp number as well, so thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Feels good.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you guys. It just means that you guys listen, and it's a good thing. Hello, good morning.
Mata.
Oh, Abubakar. Yes, good to have you back. Thank
you. So what we are saying in essence, these people, whatever lexical or term you want to describe them, they are Nigeria. If they occupy structures that government decide as illegal, government should provide legal structure for us. It's part of our effort of providing good governance. They should not be inflicting pain and hardship on Nigerians. A democratic government should be synonymous with good governance. This is what we expect from our leaders. Not coming overnight, demolition people, sending people onto the street. It's not proper. That is my tip. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Abubakar, for that contribution as well. But how many people can the government provide housing
That's the point.
How many people?
Well, it talks about the place of compassion, right? Yes, as much as I agree with them. I mean, we all know the times that we face. We all know the challenges that we face in these times. I mean, the hunger, the fuel crisis, the price increments and all of that, food soaring here and there, issues about insecurity on the one hand and all of that. Money racketeering is not a time when we are supposed to begin to grapple with, matters of demolition. But please, can we also talk about our own parts, because we have a role that we play as complicits in this regard.
All right, let's take this. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Madam Mata.
Olajide, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Good morning, man.
All right.
Good morning, Dr.
Good morning, Olajide.
Thank you, sir.
I'm
in sad mood, and I've cried a lot this morning.
a colleague of mine in my office just died early this morning. So it was a terrible situation for us in our office.
We're so sorry about that. Sorry about that. We sympathize with you.
Yeah.
Were they sick or something?
Yeah.
Yes, the sickness is just under 3 days.
Can you imagine?
The sickness started on Tuesday, and before you know, early this morning, he gave up the ghost. So that was the way we found ourselves. Thank you for sympathizing with us.
So sorry about
now
that.
On the issue of development of infrastructure for the nation, that involves demolition of people, company, buildings, firms. Master idea, there is no nation that got everything on a platter of gold. Madam Speaker, how can you show me a nation here on earth that got its development on a platter of gold? No nation. Nigeria will not be an exception.
Of course.
And let me tell you, the most irony of this nation is that we politicize everything. Madam Speaker, looking at the magnitude of that project, a road that comprises of rail from Lagos across to other 5 states. These are the constituency of federal government we are talking about. This is their purview in bringing so-called in terms of this kind of magnitude of infrastructure. And during the course of doing this, if my house or your firm, Madam Speaker, got affected, should we now spare my house and your house for such magnitude of project because we don't want you to sleep outside? They don't want me to sleep outside. Should we continue that way? Should we now claim that we are not all that ignorant, that we don't know? We have to take, especially that kind of big firm there. Do they want to tell me they don't have department in town that handles structure that we have to liaise with federal government and Lagos State to know their public place, they are citing their company that it is not under government purview. Madam Speaker, we should please stop this kind of politics of infrastructure of development of our nation. Some people say that the project may not see the light of the day, but they are there doing it. And if this government will not complete it, won't stop another government to continue it when it comes. I could remember the fair rail line in 1896 was constructed from Lagos to Abeokuta. It's still there till today, and they are using it. Madam Speaker, I don't think my great grandfather was even alive when that rail was constructed. And I'm alive. My children are alive. Their children were allowed to use that same rail from Lagos to Abeokuta, constructed in 1896. See, in the process of journey, there are bunch of people who suffer the fate of development of the nation. No doubt about that. They used to now say, no, they should not produce Olajide house so that Olajide will not sleep outside. Let them leave that kind of position. Let it not be done. When are we going to meet up with the nations we are comparing? Go to US. And I told yesterday, I said, from London to France, there is a rail. You see that if you don't want to fly, you can board a rail from London to France. You can imagine the range, the distance, the kilometers. Then what stop us if we want to do something of that magnitude in our country to help us, the inborn children that are coming, that they will enjoy that facility. God bless Nigeria. God bless Igwe FM. God bless you, Madam Speaker. God bless you, Dr. Udwa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Olajide, for that contribution there. Yes, development is painful. You know, we say it all the time. If changes must happen, it is inconvenient. It doesn't have to be a convenient process. It is a painful process.
Sure.
So definitely some people will be found under the waters.
Exactly.
You know, but what we can do as a people, what the government can do, is to curtail, the level at which people are thrown off balance because of the development. If there are better ways to go about it, I mean, let's opt for a less painful way.
Please, I've sent the message. If for your celebration, please read it for Nigeria.
All right. I advise that you send that to the WhatsApp number instead. You send to the landline, which might be.
It's not the WhatsApp number. It's just this number.
Send it to the WhatsApp number. Send it to the WhatsApp number as a text message on 090-9705-4450. Becomes quite convenient to read it out that way. Here, it's quite a lengthy process to get that. So, I think okay.
Just to also add, to that discourse, it is important to note that in Nigeria, the agency responsible for allocating land and demolishing, property is built on wrong or unauthorized land varies from state to state depending on the state or location. However, some of the agencies that typically handle these functions include the Ministry of Lands or Lands Bureau, and the Fiscal Planning or Urban Development Agency, the Lagos Local Government Councils, also parts of these. And then some specific examples include, like in Lagos State, for example, the Lagos State Fiscal Planning Permit Authority, the last PPA, and the Ministry of Fiscal Planning and Urban Development are responsible for these functions. In Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory (FCT), that is Ministry of Lands and the Department of Urban and Regional Planning are very responsible for that, right? But their jurisdiction, or their performance is also dependent on the location and the jurisdiction that they cover, right? So
I don't think they have like an independent order of operation, because they have to be ordered to do certain things all of that before they do. But whatever the case is, right? We understand that, again, like the last caller said, change is painful. And remember, other countries who had to go through bloodshed, fire, and brimstone to get their independence.
Exactly.
It was painful. Nigeria, before we got our independence, it was not a seamless process. It was also very painful process and all of that. Some of us cannot even see the movies, that typically tells us a story of how we got to this point right now. That's how painful the experience is. But again, do what you can to be safe. That's what I always will say. Do whatever is within your power. Now, Uduak has told us the agencies that are responsible.
Exactly.
Let me find out. Is my house in the right place? Have I built a structure in the right place? What is going to be the implication of building in the wrong place? Is there something I can do now that I have found out, so that I am not thrown off balance? So let's do this thing so that we can minimize the level of frustration we put on ourselves because of the effect of the wrong decisions that we have made. Now, Olajide, also, we're sorry about your colleague, but again, just like I knew, the start of the day, I did encourage us to take proper care of our health.
Exactly.
Some professionals will tell you that if symptoms persist under 24 hours, you should
consult your doctor.
As soon as you experience any sort of discomfort in your bodies, please make your way to the doctor.
It's not consult your friend, please.
Not your friend.
People go to family.
So why are you even waiting for 24 hours? You shouldn't, honestly.
Right.
I'm encouraging everybody as much as I'm encouraging myself, because I don't even like that space at all. But whatever it is that you can do to stay alive, I plan to stay alive for a very long time. For a very long time, and stay healthy too. So whatever it is within your power to be okay, please try to do it as much as possible. Thank you so much to everyone who was out there listening and contributed to the conversation. Thank you, Uduak Daniels, for like is my surname.
Like it's a surname,
anyways.
Man. Yeah, but anyways, that's it, though. And rightly said, Martha. In the morning too, when I was having an opening, I said, "Hey, drink a lot of water and eat good food." If you can, when you can, right? And I was saying this in the spirit of those who say I'm hustling, right? Just as Martha, expressed that Friday is a day of chilling for her. For me too, yes, kind of, because Saturday and Sunday we will not be here until Monday. But there are some of you who still take your jobs into Saturday and even Sundays. We understand the hustling spirit. We understand the responsibilities on your shoulders, but please take care of your health.
All right. This is Martha and Uduak Daniel signing out for the General Banter for the week. And until next week, of course, the second hour, we're talking about the city of Abuja. Please keep it locked in here and do not even think about touching that